Hey y'all, good morning. It's Mocha Mazel, and welcome to my channel, Decolonizing the Divine. And basically, this is where I share with you my enlightenment process and what has transpired and all the special things and gifts that I get access to now. Because I did that. I'm out on my morning walk, so excuse the sweat if you see any start perspiring down my face. But anyways, let's get into what I wanted to talk about today. Um, I wanted to talk about how we, black folks, rob our kids out of their purpose and missions because we don't understand how the spiritual world works. If we are so fixated on assimilating them into whiteness and um, all this other stuff, and how we participate in not putting on their path because again we've been so ancestrally disconnected. So and this is me just talking. So let me know how you feel in the comments or what you think, all that good stuff. Be sure to do all the things, like, share, comment, or everything. And then also I have the book Decolonizing the Divine in the description, where I again teach you about the some of the science and the energetics behind divine connection and the ancestral wisdom we've been robbed of, basically. But it's coming back, anyways. Um, so how do we do this? So in some of my studies, some of the books that I read, and even like with my own personal experience, again now since I'm on the other side of it, um, there was this again ancient understanding that we walked between the spiritual world, and so typically in some cultures, and again I'm just fixated on Black folks. I don't know how this works like with other people or other groups or other cultures of people, but in some cultures, in ancient African societies, when a woman was pregnant and about to bring a child in the world, um, she or somebody, whoever had that ancestral connection, would communicate with the ancestors and get the information on what to name that child and what their purpose and mission was going to be when they came here, right? um, and when I read that, I was like, oh my, because when I looked at my name, I won't be sharing my full name on here, unfortunately, but my actual name is very much tied uh, to my purpose and mission that I'm doing now. Did my mother understand that when she was naming me? I highly doubt it. No, she didn't. But she just had the desire to name me a particular thing because certain elemental things were occurring when I was born, and also some other things, right? Again, first, middle, and last name has a direct connection to my purpose and what I'm doing now. But that's how it was, right? Because we were ancestrally connected by then. We understood that our ancestors were there. They helped us navigate life down here in the physical while they were up in the spiritual realm, right? Um, and that's when we again get reconnected and get refamiliarized with how like the spiritual world was set up for us, and how we have multiples of tools to help us advance spiritually. We just been taught to demonize them or not understand them, or we just been disconnected from them, and it's caused so much damage. um but and I see that a lot, right? And we even see it like with some of the older generations, right? Like how they, had this particular gift or something that they wanted to do that they were really good at, but they couldn't really like put the time and energy into it because capitalism and colonialism and slavery and all these other things that they were fixated, were conditioned to put their energy into. They were never allowed to really practice like their gifts fully. Good morning. Yeah, you can sit. You're welcome. Okay, my bad. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. But Black folks have been robbed of a lot of their gifts, right? And of course, like our talent shows up in other ways and things, but just even like simple things that we were probably supposed to bring and put out into this world, and we never got the chance or the opportunity to because again we were either brainwashed or conditioned out of doing it. Um, so when I got spiritually reconnected and I started, honoring and venerating and connecting with my ancestors, they led me on this path towards enlightenment, basically. And again, for those of you who are unfamiliar, God is a life force energy that is within you. And when you clear dense energy out of your body, which is essentially what religions or spiritual teachers were trying to teach you how to do, you can embody God's energy in the flesh, like fully. You embody God's energy. And then y'all are working in tandem with each other and you're connected, right? Um, when you, again, do this, you get full access and full unlocking of the spiritual world. Um, so don't think that because you try and connect with your ancestors that you're not connecting to God or something like that. That's that colonial foolishness, right? That we gotta undo. Your ancestors understood what God was, right? And this is why it's important to connect with them. Your ancestors understood that what they understood God, right? And so people think it's like either or, like no, like everything in its entirety is a part of the spiritual world. So when you understand that, then things become more known to you, basically. So yeah. So getting ancestrally reconnected means you get more clarity on like your experience down here, like what it all meant and what it's all for. And what I love so much about what's happening now is like I feel like Black people are starting to understand this more in a deeper context, even though people in the comment sections online, whatever. Anyways, like can't save everybody. But we're starting to like understand that this is like a whole lot deeper than we were like led to believe. And you are literally connected to your ancestors. You are here watching this video or doing whatever you're doing right now because God set up for you to come into this world a particular way through your ancestral lineage that you are tied to genetically in all kind of ways. So you're connected to your ancestors whether or not you want to acknowledge it. It don't matter, but you're connected to them. Okay. Um so yeah, we really can like undo a whole lot by just understanding this concept and getting and nurturing these gifts and these talents instead of like trying so hard to focus on assimilating them into America and whiteness and all this other stuff because that's where that stuff goes to die. We are in changing times and we need this guidance more like than ever now, right? So you never know what ancestor you reincarnating. You never know what their mission is. You don't know who you are. Apparently, when I started to dig deeper, I've been here a few times, and I was doing the same thing. I was a spiritual teacher, and I was working with women. You don't know what your purpose and mission is until you really start doing that work, right? And to do that work, you have to get in alignment with um, yourself, and to getting into alignment with yourself means getting into alignment with God. It's all going to lead you to that path, right? And to get into alignment, you have to release all the stuff that they told you was important, right? And so a career, and if that's what you feel like is your calling and your mission and your passion, do it by all means. I'm saying for those of you who don't and you kind of feel like you just floating around, you just doing stuff for the sake of doing it, get reconnected with yourself, and that's when your path is going to make itself known to you, right? Because that's how it works anyways. So if you have more questions, if you're curious or anything like that, feel free to just comment, leave me some information, leave some comments in the video. I'm sorry if I seem kind of distracted because it's birds and stuff flying around me. So I keep getting like, um, but if you have any questions, just comment, let me know. Like I said, my book will be in the description, Decolonizing the Divine. I host workshops and webinars. I have one that's coming up. And if you're watching this at a later time, I usually host them periodically. So hopefully by the next time you're watching, the next one will be up. But anyways, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. Love you bunches and see you next time. All right. Bye.